IVM.
Hello and welcome to the Habit Coach Podcast, the bite-sized podcast filled with quick and easy, actionable habits. Remember, great habits create that awesome life. I am Ashdin Doctor, your habit coach. And today's fun fact of the day has to do with loneliness. Did you know that loneliness can make you feel cold? Studies have found that recalling a time in which you felt lonely made participants estimate that the temperature of a room was significantly cooler. It even made their actual skin temperature drop. And this reminds us of the time when we are left out in the cold. And as cavemen, being rejected by our social group was an instant death sentence. Imagine being kept away from the warmth of a fireplace and the social group around it. Being forced away from our group, even now, feels exactly the same. You feel like you're not worthy and you feel like you're going to die alone. Last year, I had shared a podcast called Solitude versus Loneliness, where I had said that loneliness was going to be the next big pandemic. But little did I know that how accurate it was going to be, especially with the coronavirus making us all stuck at home during this pandemic. In this kind of digital world that has now become our home, the loneliness is of a different kind. We are constantly being bombarded by other people's thoughts and ideas. We are seeing so many people express their point of view. We feel that if we are not part of their point of view, then we are going to be alone. We feel like we have to have the same kind of ideas to be accepted. And very often, this even goes around and against our logic. Then there are people who comment about us, say things about us that are untrue and hurtful, people who behave unfairly towards us. And all these things to make us feel alone. Like it is us versus the world. They judge us and they make us feel small. Or they say something that makes us feel angry. When these kind of situations present themselves, we stop thinking logically and are carried away by our emotions, carried away by our primal instincts. The truth is that we are bombarded by other people's thoughts all through the day, either directly towards us or indirectly. And this is causing a lot of unrest in our minds. Many people write into me on Instagram saying that they do not know what is right, what is wrong, what people say. It brings them anxiety and they cannot control their reactions. As your habit coach, I want you to understand that all these situations created feelings in us that are all about not belonging, that we are being judged and that we are going to be left alone to die. The problem is that these thoughts haunt us long after the person said those words, long after they've even forgotten those words. And hence, it is not solitude from these people that will help us, but learning how to create solitude from their thoughts. And the best way of doing this is to pause whenever anything has been said to you. Pause before reacting. Pause before giving in to your feelings. While this seems impossible right now, it is completely possible to learn, but it takes practice. Soon it will happen so easily to you. The trick to pausing your own reaction is to quickly focus on your breathing and slow down your exhale. Count the seconds as you exhale slowly. This one step will bring such clarity to your mind. Then you can choose how to react or not react to it. If you decide to let go and not react, then you know that your mind has learnt solitude. Soon, you'll be able to go through life not being affected by what people are saying, because you will be able to use logic to decipher what they're saying and if it's true or not. You'll be able to use compassion to forgive them for what they have said or understand their suffering. And this practice of solitude will bring you such peace as you've never felt before. Yes, it takes practice, but it is doable. Practice this every day, right from the small things like somebody saying something stupid like, "Why are you taking a second helping?" to things like someone bad mouthing something that you enjoy. All these things. Pause and reflect, and then take a decision whether to react or not. So your simple habit to find solitude from other people's thoughts does not start by ignoring them, but pausing before you react to them. Quickly focus on your breathing. Count how many seconds you breathe out for. This will give you enough of a pause to choose your reaction. If you don't decide to react and let go, that is your habit for solitude. So start these habits and share with us your progress using the hashtag #TheHabitCoach. If you like this podcast, don't forget to check out other interesting podcasts on the IVM network. You can listen to us on the IVM Podcast app or ivmpodcast.com. You can also follow us on social media. We are at IVM Podcasts on Twitter and Instagram. If you want to reach out to me, I am Ashdin Doc on Twitter and Instagram. You can find lots more information on my website, awesome180.com, or check out different content on my YouTube channel called AWESOME180. That's Awesome180.
I hope you enjoyed that show. I'd like to thank our sponsors this week, Paytm Money. Some really fun guests on the network this week. Cyrus welcomed Dia Mirza to come and have a conversation about all kinds of different things. Danny Morrison was on Edges and Sledges, the cricket podcast. If you haven't heard that, that's always a fun listen. And Rahul Subramanian was on Football Should Fall to grow their ever more exciting list of guests. And it's not just that. Mantra Mugdha, an old friend of ours, was on Advertising is Dead. Manu Pillai was on the Filter Coffee podcast. It's been one great guest after the other. And with that, we hope to catch you again next week.
Beta, did you know 79% of all scientists in NASA are Indian only?
देखो, इंडिया में टैक्स सिर्फ मिडिल क्लास भरती है. Everyone is just enjoying free यार.
आजकल के youngsters are only interested in partying and enjoying. उनको देश की पड़ी ही नहीं है.
बेटा तुम बस शादी कर लो, उसके बाद तो you can enjoy life like anything.
I will tell you what this country needs. This country needs 15 years of dictatorship. That is the only way to become a superpower. See the Chinese, how much they've progressed.
सुनो, तुमने ये WhatsApp forward देखा?
So what's common between all of these statements?
They're all absolutely rubbish.
Fake WhatsApp forwards that spread like wildfire.
And statements that defy any logic.
We are here to debunk them all.
Way of family WhatsApp groups, worst nightmare. Where what happens when you read a book.
Basically, we are just a bunch of guys who want to cut through the bullshit of everyone saying this, how it won't be true.
So that the next time someone confidently squeezes out some WhatsApp or Twitter BS, you will look them dead in the eye and go, Uncle, please sit.
So join me, Joel,
And me, Tushar.
every Mondays for a fresh new episode of Uncle, Please Sit.